All right, so. Oh, and we are off.
And the first chest was a big 20. While Android starts at the sanctuary and finds a bomb upgrade. Not exactly what you want to see.
No, not really. I'm sure they're right away looking for either hammer, glove, moon pearl, or even a sword.
And Ninban is going to escape.
Ooh, giving tree with the 20 rupees. Always nice to have rupees right at the beginning of the race, so you can immediately take out those Kakariko Village items.
Yeah, and I think Android is trying to get some bombs here. Gets one so far. Not too bad. Bow at Uncle.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, the play on Eastern Palace with a bow, much more likely than without it.
Oh yeah. That also opens up a majority of, or the back end of Palace of Darkness too.
Yeah, the bow-locked chests are no longer locked because of bow.
Ooh, and mitts on the bookcase, which means we'll be hopefully seeing boots soon.
Yeah, depending where the other glove upgrade is, might be some point in the future. But bows will hope for boots.
Big heart in the tavern. I did not get to catch what was on the ledge at Lumberjack. Did you?
It looked blue. I'm not sure if it was bombs or a blue rupee, but I think it was nothing too good.
We did have a map check though. Blue pendant at Tower of Hera, Crystal 6 at Eastern Palace, and green pendant at Desert Palace.
That is an interesting setup. Especially as green pendant is helping a lot with the additional item, so people are likely to go there. Crystal 6, okay, it is a crystal. You sure go there, but Hera, one of the fastest dungeons, being pendant.
I'm predicting the racers they'll dip into Hera, check the few initial chests, and either take the gamble on killing Moldorm or just leave.
Oh,
But in
the
Blindsight,
mirror.
yeah, we find the mirror.
At Lumberjacks, it was bombs.
Okay, bombs. Thank you for that, Felix.
Oh, and 10 arrows for 100 rupees.
Not a super great trade.
I mean, if you have the bow, yeah, it's nice, but still, that is 10 rupees an arrow. And last but not least for Android, the chicken coop. Ninban right now on his check for all of the other items here. Oh, big 20. I don't know, this early in the race, it is kind of interesting to find a lot of money. You need it for Zora, for the bottle vendor.
You need it for Palace of Darkness, for the dig
Yeah,
game.
Petals of Darkness, chest game, digging game. But later on, the rupees kind of get useless. Except if you want to buy potions.
No, that's true. I wonder with all this early money if the game is kind of pointing the players towards Zora. Now, technically, they can't go there in accordance with the logic without the flippers, but I feel that the game is telling them to go to Zora.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that they find flippers soon, like in Escape or Eastern Palace, or the other glove upgrade, which would definitely point towards Zora.
I do know for a fact, though, that the logic does not take into account money. So if a key item is at Zora and you have no other way of getting rupees aside from farming at Blind Set, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, but you can farm at Blindside. That is always an option. So it is not excluding the players by not giving money. And let's see, Android might go to Uncle and escape now, or heading south.
It looks like they're going to head south and check the dam.
Yeah. In terms of item density, it's not a bad play. With 12 bombs, should be possible to beat Mini Moldorm Cave, which is 5 items, 2 here at Dam.
There's also the Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah.
But 300 rupees. Only 100 rupees short of being able to get that nice item at Zora.
Yeah, and Ninban following closely there.
Oh, and the book inside of the lake.
That's
That
interesting.
Yeah, it opens up Desert Palace. Once they have, I believe it's the Master Sword, they'll be able to check the tablets. Ooh, Android almost fell there. Looks like Mini Moldorm Cave is getting a little bit of difficulty with the bombs, but I don't blame him for having difficulties. Lining up bomb shots on moving enemies isn't the easiest.
Yeah.
And that one appears to just completely have missed.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't exactly know why. But with the last bomb, he is in.
Oh, the flute and the Moon Pearl.
Meanwhile, Ninban is using the bow for Mini Moldorm Cave. Also not the easiest to do, but a lot easier than using bombs. But that opened up Death Mountain. And with the mirror, even Tower of Hera.
Mm-hmm. And a soon.
Yeah, sadly, the flute is leading Android away from the bow at Uncle.
Yeah. I really hope they at least remember it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, not having checked any of Escape, it's pretty hard to completely forget. But it gets put aside for quite a while.
Oh, and it looks like they're heading straight to desert.
Yeah, with
I guess just to check that ledge.
yeah, depending on what's on the ledge on the ledge there, you go in or not. Like if there were boots or fire source, it might be worth going into desert. But without both, you can't finish the dungeon. Without a fire source, not at all. And the boots are very often required. So
Oh,
Sahasrara,
lamp.
yes.
So that
Arrow
opens up.
upgrade, bombs, yeah, but the lamp.
That also opens up Old Man.
Yes, so Android, I guess, will take the way up to Death Mountain, while Ninban is definitely heading into Eastern Palace. Oh, Android also checking desert here. And he decides to take the gamble on desert. So if the torch holds a small key or the big key, he might be in trouble.
Another thing, they might just be doing an initial dip just to get or hopefully get a few items, and hope that, or with hopes that it leads them somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Ninban most likely is going to beat Eastern Palace with the bow in hand. He has the lamp for the dark room. So to him, it must look like the entire seat is pointing him towards this place.
Ooh, an android having to use bombs to kill the enemies in this room is definitely not fun.
No, but it's also not the hardest thing to do. They are not moving that much. Also, I would have opened the chest before just to hope maybe it's a sword or a hammer.
Yeah. Ooh, and just 20 rupees.
And this means that the big key is in fact... Oh, a sword for
Sword.
Ninban.
So first sword is in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, the big key is on the torch.
So Desert Palace, as of right now, is a bust.
Yeah, but if you're here, you can go ahead and check Gina's cave. It's definitely not something many people check early on.
But it's just 50 rupees.
Yeah, but ever so slightly putting him closer to the money he needs for Zora.
And Vanilla Big Key in Eastern Palace.
Very interesting. Let's see. Oh, Android seems to be heading up to escape. So he will get his bow pretty soon, hopefully.
Compass in the big chest. Not quite what they want, but with
Yeah,
that... Oh, what were you going to say?
they have to kill almost either way for the crystal, so it's not too bad if he holds an item.
And I believe Armos will hold an item.
Yeah. We saw map, big key, and compass. And Android decides to head deeper into escape. Which at this point is no problem at all. He has the mirror to get back to the entrance pretty fast. He has a lamp for the back part of escape.
Ooh, and the cape.
It's interesting for the
think...
fact that it unlocks Aghanim.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Aghanim will be required?
Not sure, there is too much on Death Mountain possible. And I think Ninban will head over there before he goes for Aghanim.
I'm sure they'll want to do Aghanim as a last resort.
Yeah, nobody likes to do him early if he's not required. And the map in Escape is in the vanilla boomerang chest.
Ooh, and blocked by the... Oh, no, not blocked by the dead rocks.
Yeah, the old man is so happy that he got rescued. He gave a little bit of money just to fit in with the rest of the seat so far.
And on top of Spectacle Rock is just 20 rupees. Inside contains a 5-arrow capacity upgrade. So not super useful.
But Android is heading deeper into Escape, and there is one chest left here. It could hold a small key or an item. So it's not a major gamble.
Oh, and it looks like we will have a tablet check on Ninban's screen.
Yeah, because without the Master Sword you can only read what's in there.
And it is a bot. Oh no, it's a net.
Yeah.
So Android is locked out of Escape, which means the small key is in one of those 3 chests near Sanctuary.
Which is actually interesting. If Ninban gets the glove upgrade before he goes to Escape, he might do the back part first and loop to that chest in the dark. Yeah, and Android is doing the logical thing, heading over to Eastern Palace. So he will get his first sword, his cape. No, I think the last item was just money. Meanwhile, Ninban is...
And I believe Armos had a 20 rupee.
Almost had the cape.
Oh, that's right.
One of the chests had money. Like the 300 here in Hera.
And here we go with Moldorm.
So, would it be a nice one or a troll dome? Ooh, that was very close for Ninban.
Yeah. They're doing a good job though, keeping the sword out. And there Moldrum goes. Now, I don't believe we saw a small key, did we?
No, I think the small key is in the big key, in the big chest. We got both items and the map. So the basement will have the compass. That is the missing item. Yeah, and right now for Ninban, there is Ice Rock Cave and Desert Palace. I think before he has to decide if he wants to go for Aghanim or not.
Now, do you think Ninban will head down and do the fake flippers?
I'm not sure. The problem with the fake flippers is that you have to keep in mind that your sequence broke some of your items. But yeah, he is going to fake flipper.
That's at least 3 items, or I guess it's 5 items total, being able to check 2 of those 5.
Yeah, he can check the island. He can get the item from Hobo and 3 items in the Zora domain. Waterfall 2 because of Moonpearl and Zora himself? I don't know. Zora item because he has the money.
The sequence broken Master Sword.
Yeah, that is interesting. Because it might point you towards Aghanim if you forget that you shouldn't be able to get this right now.
Well, they do have the cape.
Yes. In this seed, it's not too bad. Oh, blue rupee on the island. And here we will see the Jesus walk. By entering this cave or this waterfall without the flippers and having the moonpearl, leaving it and re-entering, you get the ability to walk on water until you hit land the next time.
Ooh, but the hookshot on Zora's ledge, so they'll need to come back and get that.
That is very interesting. And I think Ninban is right now hoping for flippers to be here.
I don't think... Well, maybe they can, actually.
Yeah, they could be there, but it's not very likely. But seeing that hookshot, you sure think would be nice. So Android finished off almost and is now heading towards Death Mountain.
Now, I'm wondering if Ninban will do Aga or will they attempt to do Escape?
With the mirror in hand, I think going for the chests downstairs and Escape isn't a bad option. You can mirror back to the entrance and go for Aga if you want to. But if you find something of value down here, you save a lot of time. which we know is not the case. But to Ninban, this must look like good play, or it sure is good play. So currently both racers are just tracing the footsteps of the other. Android heading up to Death Mountain. Ninban down to Zelda's chest. Oh, and the same medallion tablet check.
Oh, and it looks like we will have a completion of escape, or an attempted completion of escape.
Yeah, like Android did before, will end at that one chest in the dark. Meanwhile, Android is picking up the 10 arrows here. Oh, and Ninban is back on Death Mountain.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like they're going to leave pretty shortly.
Yeah, I think it was just for the faster healing here before heading into desert. Just hoping to not go to Aghanim is the right play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, without gloves, though, they won't be able to complete this dungeon.
Yeah, and it is pretty much a giant gamble right now. Both items in here would need to be good, really good. Like boots and a hammer. Or a glove upgrade and the hammer. Else you still most likely have to go to Aghanim.
I think they're slowly realizing that it will be an Aghanim required seed.
Yeah, and now the question is, will Android be the first to enter the upper part of the castle? Because he might do that after the Moldom fight? Or Ninban?
I think Ninban will be the first to enter.
Yeah, I'm thinking what options Android has left without the sequence break of fake flippering. But Moldom is deciding to not play nicely.
Not at all. Fortunately, though, Android hasn't fallen off, so
Yeah,
that's good.
there was some really good dodging there. And while you're up on Death Mountain and in Tower of Hera, you might as well go ahead and finish it because it's so fast and short. And Ninban is going for Aghanim.
But Android looks like they're headed up to Ice Rod Cave.
Oh yeah, Ice Rod Cave is left. So the next big question is, will the item they are looking for be in Palace of Darkness or on the Pyramid Ledge?
I think it's going to be on the pyramid.
Yeah, it would be nice to see something good there again. And Android is also going for the fake flipper.
So they're shortly going to get their Master Sword.
Getting the setup from the other side of the screen transition there. Oh, and he's skipping, yeah, the hobo, instantly
Ooh.
heading for Zora. Which I totally can understand. The jump back into the fake flipper from the hobo isn't really easy, and it can soft block the game.
So Android sees that hook shot.
Yeah. Right now it's taunting you up there. But Ninban can really profit from that Master Sword. Even though it's sequence broken, the damage is just really good compared to the Fighter Sword.
Ooh, and Ninban falls. Sure, they're not too pleased with that right now.
Yeah. And right as Ninban reaches Aghanim, Android decides to head over to Hyrule Castle. But still with Fighter Sword in hand.
Fortunately, with Aga 1, though, the type of sword you have isn't really that important.
Yeah, it's just the rooms before Aga, especially the very first one. Ooh, and 2 blue balls so far from Aghanim. And there is the first room down for Android. That took a little bit longer than on Ninban's side. And Aghanim is defeated.
So let's see what's on the pyramid.
Might be the hammer? Oh no, it's a single green rupee.
Ooh.
At least now we know that Palace of Darkness will have something good. Because there's nowhere else they could go. Catfish could indeed have the hammer, but they would need some sort of glove upgrade to reach Catfish.
Couldn't they fake Flipper to Catfish?
Is it possible? Well, for the logic, at least.
Yeah, according to the logic, they'll need the flippers.
Yeah, or the glove to lift the rocks in front of the entrance area to Catfish. But sure, they actually can find the glove upgrade in here, or even the boots, and have to go to Catfish. That would be possible, but not very nice. And Android was a very nice idea to use the boomerang there on the red guard.
Yeah.
And the problem with boots in this place instead of hammer would be that it's a required double dip.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to do any double dips, but
And Ninban is heading to the right side of Palace of Darkness right now. The place that is bow-locked.
meanwhile we have Android finally getting to Aga.
Yeah, without the Master Sword, it's a whole nother challenge to go through this tower.
And another small key along with the compass. So there's got to be something good back there.
Yeah, and it could be fusing. Could be the flippers to get the hook shot. The boots for the glove upgrade. And the bonk rocks. Or the hammer to finish this place and go to the South Dark World. Or of course fetch quest items. But first of all, it's a shield.
Yeah. That's not really what they want.
Oh,
But the
and
flippers.
the flippers. So now they can get hookshot.
Yeah, so hold it right.
And with hookshot, they can actually clear most of the overworld in the Dark World.
Is them Swamp Palace clear?
Yeah, if they have the hammer.
So there should be one more item in the big chest.
Oh, and the boots.
That's big. That opens up desert.
It opens desert. It grants the first glove upgrade, but it is no hammer.
Ooh, Crystal 5 being Thieves Town.
That actually is very nice.
The red pendant being Swamp.
With the mirror in hand and Aghanim defeated, I would head over for Crystal 5 as soon as I can. Grab that hookshot, go to the north of the Dark World.
Well, they would have to go stop off and get the gloves first.
Yeah, as they are in Kakariko, I would mirror in Village of Outcast. So I have the portal close by. And no, it's not the only place to go. They can check, of course, the overworld and the dark world quite a bit. But also they could go to Skull Woods.
Yeah.
Which is a very common play in this version.
Most of the time, Skull Woods holds something good.
At least if it's banned. And Ninban will get his glove upgrade. Or the first glove. Right now. And I just realized something that also is a bit mean about this item location of the boots. On the right side of Palace of Darkness, you actually like to bonk into the walls to open them.
Yeah, and without the boots,
Yeah, with the boots deeper into Palace of Darkness.
Now, I wonder if Ninban will go a little bit out of the way to check the pedestal. Or I guess
I
they're going to boot away.
think he just forgot that he needs hammer to enter the portal there.
So I wonder if Shrahashala has the hammer.
Yeah, that would be possible. Or an item that leads up to hammer. Like, for example, a fire rod and the hammer at Mothula.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be the worst, because you will go ahead and defeat the moss at some point for the crystal.
Ooh, and it looks like Ninban is going to go check Catfish.
Yeah, with boots and the glove in hand, you're not very likely coming back here ever again. So the dream of Palace of Darkness leading to hammer instantly isn't that yet.
Ooh, and 20 rupees
No,
for
it's it.
Catfish. Ninban goes for the Or I guess he went for the speed glitch, but
Yeah.
jumped into the water.
Yeah, he just touched the ledge there, and with the spin speed, that is enough that you instantly jump down.
Android on the other side finally picking up their flippers.
Yeah, and soon getting boots. But I think with flippers in hand, we will see the Master Sword on Android's side as well.
Ooh, and it looks like we will also have some Light World overworld checks.
And the nice glitch on the tombstone there.
Oh, but unfortunately, it's just a blue rupee.
Yeah, but at least it's checked. It's nothing you have to keep in mind anymore.
It's out of the way. It was on the way to where they were. I'm assuming they were going to go to Thieves Town.
Yeah, it sure looks like it, and there are 3 item spots on the way. All in Light World, but all easy to reach with the mirror. Oh, and there's a shovel.
Let the fetch quests begin. Ooh, and I think Android is going to go check Hobo.
Yeah, sadly no right now. He's swimming further ahead. Maybe
they're going to go check Hype Cave?
yeah, or going for
Oh,
the
they didn't
small
check the
island here.
island. I think it was just rupees.
Yeah, it was Blue Rupee. But taking the swim right now to Hobo. And after that, sure will be the hook shot.
Let's see what Bumper Cave has. Ooh. Quake.
Bacon Medallion.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's one of the required medallions.
Yeah, pretty likely that it is required. Especially with Turtle Rock and Misery Miner both being crystals. And it looks like Ninban is going to Skullwoods first. It is more of the common play. But on the other hand, having Crystal 5 and 6 this early into the seed open to you, you might want to go for that.
Odd things.
Oh, Ninban is on half a heart right now.
Ooh, and the mushroom.
Yeah, sure. Even more fetch quests. Why not? Oh, and that fairy.
Yeah, really? Oh, that's unfortunate. They were very close to getting that fairy.
Yeah, and even with blue mail, it hurts quite a bit to get hit in the dark world. I'm curious to see if Android decides to go, yes, to East Des Mountain.
It looks like they will.
Yeah, with the hookshot in hand. Also, valid play here. Especially if something like the hammer or another glove, and the second glove is up here. It helps a lot.
Oh, silver arrows.
Yeah, nice to have.
That will make a couple bosses a lot easier to fight.
Yeah, especially my favorite, the Zero Cycle Vitreous fight.
Paradox Cave holding nothing but money and hearts.
So, sure, Android not trying to bomb jump again. And Ninban is heading back for that big chest. Setting up the bomb jump without the dash. For a small key. There's Ether. We are on the way for the full coin collection. We know 2 of the 3 locations.
Spiral Cave holding the 20 rupees and Seaside House with the completion of the heart pieces. ₹50 on Ninban's side.
And Android getting his next heart from the heart piece there in Bumper Cave in the Bonk Rocks.
And Ninban with the dip into Thieves Town, while Android goes to check the rest of Escape.
Yeah, good on them for remembering.
Ooh, but unfortunately, great.
The small key and the big key in the first 2 chests in Thieves Town. So the only problem with Thieves Town right now is without the hammer, you can't get every chest in here.
Yes, you will be able to get them all but the big chest.
And some of the runners really don't like to do that. They want to go in here with the hammer in hand. Just in case it actually is needed. And no, not the good pixel. Ninban taking the
It was
slide
really
hit there.
close.
Yeah, it was good for the very first. Sadly not for the second barricade of spikes.
Ooh, and the map. So that means the big chest and blind will have something.
Yeah, the big chest is the problem. And there are quite a few items that actually could be there.
Maybe Hammer will be a blind.
It would be funny to actually go to blind, beat him, and he gives you the item. Like, okay, here, now you can have the chest.
Ooh, and Bombos.
So, we know where all the medallions are. With Ether on the floating island on the Stas Mountain. So for the blind fight, you want to hit blind's head 3 times each head, no matter what sword you have.
They all do the same damage.
The fight gets ridiculously easy if you have the blue or red cane. And that is crystal number 5 for Ninban.
So we might have a pyramid fairy check.
Yeah, it's easy to do. After the south side of the Dark World, you are in the general area.
It looks like we'll have a dig game. And then afterwards, probably a few mirror locations.
Yeah, and Stumpy. I guess we will see Hype Cave before we see the ferry. Just because it's more items in there.
So I believe it was 19 digs for that quarter heart.
Yeah, and Android picked up his bacon medallion. And is also heading up to Skullwoods right now.
Ooh, Ninban's opting to skip the single arrow.
Oh. It's the single mightiest arrow.
Treat
yeah.
full heart?
And he has the shuffle.
Ooh.
This is the first bottle we see. This means Sick Kid can now be checked.
That is true.
At nearly 1 hour in, we see the first bottle. That is something.
And it looks like no Bombos tablet check, but I think we're going to have a Hype Cave preview.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same. If you're in this area, you could also just go a little bit further and check the tablet.
And Hype Cave proving to not be very hype.
Yeah, but very healthy. And right now on Android side, we are seeing this bright limitation. That room has a wall master, but he will only drop after you kill 2 of the enemies.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the problem is to reach the switch, you actually have to kill enemies.
Even the Bombos tablet with the big heart.
At least Ninban should feel pretty good on the health side here. 12 hearts, blue mail, that is nice.
I'm really hoping Hammer will be at the Pyramid Fairy.
Or a hammer in the very first chest in Swamp that actually can hold an item.
Yeah, that would be nice also.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice to watch, not to run. Because without hammer, Swamp Palace is the last place you want to check.
Yeah. Now, Dark Cuckoo, did you know that the bomb can actually swim?
Oh, I know that there is some setup for it, but I don't know the exact setup.
Pyramid Fairy not holding much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have a mushroom turn in.
Alright, that's also an option.
Ooh, but it's just bombs.
Yeah, so what is left? They have Sick Kid left, the first chest in Swamp, and of course, the Green Pendant at Desert.
Yeah.
And I think the second item in Desert isn't also discovered.
But that fire rod.
Yeah, that fire rod is opening up quite a bit. Because they are also missing an item in Skull Woods. So the next big question is, what item do you think will be the last one they will find for Go mode?
I think it'll be the cane.
Yeah, I want to go with a somewhat boring answer of Ice Rod. Well, boring in the sense of that's most of the time the last item. But the Ice Rod is such a mean item. Because it can literally be everywhere. Sorry.
Yeah. Except for at Trinex.
Yeah, not at Trinex and not in Ganon's Tower. But it could be at every other boss, in every other dungeon, pedestal. It's always interesting to see this one as the last item. And again, Ninban is trolled by a fairy. They seem to have some kind of problem with Ninban. So the East Death Mountain check is finished for Ninban. Now he has to decide where to go. Is it Skull Woods?
I'm gonna say it's Desert Palace.
Yeah. It would be a very solid play.
Meanwhile, Android picking up their Bombos tablet.
Yeah, but leaving Blind behind. Well, the maiden we have to rescue, of course. So I think Ninban is heading back for Skullwood.
Yeah, that looks like it.
It is a crystal, and still holds items. Well, one item.
Ooh, and Android barely gets away with that one heart.
Yeah, a very clutch fight here. But in the end, the game isn't asking, do you have 2, 3, 4, or 1 heart left? It's only, hey, you have beaten the boss. Here is your crystal. And Ninban is getting close to Moss. After the bunny beam. So with a red potion and 10 hearts right now, this fight shouldn't be too bad.
I think the only thing that would make it a little bit better is half magic.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, at least it's working better than the butter sword fight in the vanilla game.
Yeah.
And another boss kill at only one heart left.
Mothula have on the map.
So the one chest early on will have the last item, And Android also deciding to skip the single arrow.
What an unfortunate tragedy that is. Ooh, now with Ninban being where he is or on the map, do you think we'll see a pedestal check?
Yeah, I think he might go for it. Especially with one pendant already in his pocket.
But there's bottle 2. Ooh, and we will have a pedestal check.
Yeah, this might help him decide where to go next.
Ooh, and the Titan's Mitts
that
pedestal.
is... So we have ourselves a nice pedestal seat.
So I'm thinking that hammer will either be in desert or in the first one of the first few chests in swamp.
It can only be one chest in swamp, actually. The very first chest always has a small key. The chest after that, behind the bombable wall, is the only one you can reach without a hammer. It also might be at Sahasrahla with the green pendant.
Oh, that is true.
And Android is going for the bombos check as well.
Fortunately, they're only going to get that heart.
Yeah, but having this heart for Mosula actually, the additional heart, isn't that bad. Oh, and Android is gambling on the first chest in Swamp.
Ooh, let's see what that holds.
This might be huge. And as Alvi is pointing out, this is indeed a full dungeon mode, including Aga Tower.
Not fun.
No, but really cool to watch. So it's what no racer wants to see, but everybody watching the races always wants to see.
Ooh, now maybe I'm going to use those silver arrows on Lambo.
And it's the red boomerang in Swamp Palace.
Ooh, definitely not worth it.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all.
And Lamola's having the hammer.
The hammer and the green pendant.
Yeah.
That is worth a lot.
That's 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, and with a knowledge of the pedestal seat, it is something you will do.
Oh, it looks like they're going. Looks like Ninban is going to clear pod and then turn in the green pendant.
Yeah, turning in the green pendant beating pot for both. You don't need the Titan's mitts. And at least you have the green pendant out of the way. You can't forget that anymore.
Ooh, bottle 3.
And this makes it 2 Bs right now. Oh, but the mirror back to the dark world put him to the wrong side of the forest maze there.
That's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it actually is decently challenging to try to keep in mind where you are in the light world and dark world, respectively, to get really good mirror spots. So one other big question is, will Ninban remember the one chest in Thieves Town?
Ooh, I wasn't even thinking of that.
Because that one could change a lot.
Yeah. Android not realizing that this is a pedestal seed, and it looks like they're going to hastily make their way back to
Yeah.
desert.
Oh no, for now it's Skywoods.
Oh, okay.
Deciding to check the pedestal before the muscular fight.
Now, after the pedestal, or the glove's been pulled from the pedestal, what do you think the next dungeon will be?
I think the next dungeon or general area will be Mire for the Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave. If that also will be the dungeon, that's a huge question.
Because they technically can't complete Mire.
Yes, but they could complete Ice Palace.
And the Helmasaur King is down very quickly, and Android gets picked up by the Wall Master.
Yeah, at least the Wallmaster respawns the hearts below the pots there. Meanwhile, yeah, the Helmasaur King with silver arrows. It takes 1 arrow. But Android is having some trouble here with the Gyptos.
Yeah, Gyptos are not fun to deal with.
And with the lanterns, but this should be okay. Sure is.
When Ninban realizes they forgot to pull the lever.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Happens to everyone. And I see in chat that they have all 4 items in Thieves Town. I think they don't. The forest chest had the compass, and the chest in the upper part of the dungeon had the map.
Yeah.
And as the big key is needed in the forest for chests, the big chest can't hold the big key.
I'm having some trouble with that hammer dash.
Yeah, and Android meanwhile is heading to desert. So Android is getting the hammer and the green pendant very soon, getting one step closer to go mode. Meanwhile, Ninban is going through swamp, and the big question right now, do you full clear swamp or not?
Yeah, I would full clear swamp.
Yeah, with at least 2 items missing, potentially a third one of the medallions. No, Ninban was on these Desmond, so the Ether is already discovered.
Ice Rod could be here.
Yeah, Ice Rod, Red Cane could both be here. Could be magic powder leading to one of the 2. Or very important, it could be the last bottle.
Yeah, it could be the last bottle.
Also, another sword upgrade would be nice. Now that I think about it, Master Sword isn't the best. Oh, and in fact, it is the Cane of Samaria.
So, I'm glad Ninban cleared out swamp.
Yeah, not going for that chest would have hurt a lot.
And there is the 4th bottle.
It's indeed in here. And Android has defeated the Lamolas.
So they are equipped with their hammer.
Yeah. Instead of going for Palace of Darkness, instantly going for Swamp. Oh, and Sangheart is also in Swamp. So with the red cane in hand and everything but Ice Rod, the next plays are really hard to determine.
Yeah, I mean fortunately all three of them are, or at least Ice and Misery Mire are crystals, so you have to do them. But it's more of just which one do I pick first?
Yeah, do you want to full clear Ice or Mire? Both not the best options to have. And then of course there is the Turtle Rock gamble.
Yeah, that is true. They could full clear both dungeons and not find the Ice Rod anywhere. Except for at Laser Bridge on Turtle Rock, which I'm sure neither of them want to see.
We will see if one of them decides to go for Turtle Rock early. And there is the silver hit on Argus, another boss that goes down instantly. So I am very curious to see where this Ice Rod will show up. And also what Ninban is going to do right now, because there are so many options.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like East Death Mountain Dark Side, there is of course Spike Cave open with a cape.
Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave, the Misery Mire Shed and the surrounding area. Mire itself, Ice, the frog and the purple chest.
Yeah. They would have bat, well, not technically accessible, but they would have bat accessible if they still had the mushroom.
So
looks like Ice Palace
is going for Ice Palace here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You're looking for the Ice Rod. Could very well be an Ice Palace. The android is heading to the left side of Swamp, so Kane of Sumaria, no problem in this race. That is nice.
Ooh, it's been pointed out in chat. Ice Rod and Thieves Town Big Chest.
Yeah, that is probably the worst outcome.
Especially if they forget about it.
Yeah, but even if not, they most likely will go through Ice and Mire before. Most likely even gamble on T-Rock. Just hoping to get the Ice Rod without backtracking.
Looks like they missed the double kill with the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that can happen. But I just realized they actually could have gotten the hammer before they went into Thieves Town.
Yeah. There wasn't anything of major progression in Thieves Town, I don't recall.
Yeah, they had the gloves from the library. The lamp was much earlier.
Flame was in Trahashula's hut.
Yeah. And, well, of course, boots. But they have all of that. But, yeah, that is, of course, hindsight. We know now how the items are placed. For them, Thieves Town made a lot of sense because it has a high item density. They had no idea it was a pedestal seat at that time.
There's the big key on Ninban's screen.
And the fire shield.
I mean, it's a luxury item, I would call it.
Yeah, it sure is. It helps with the progression to Mirror Shield, which actually has some good use. But in itself, it only blocks a few fireballs, that's all. And Android is going for the much slower Master Sword kill on Argus here.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why they didn't want to use the silver arrows.
Yeah, maybe just slipped their mind. Can happen.
Ooh. Ninban not having fun with these ice physics.
Yeah, there is a reason why many people say Ice Palace is the worst. But with the early key, it was easy to clear the entire dungeon. It was a decent fast full clear. Oh, and finally a fairy is playing along. So Android checking the fairy here for no value, sadly. Meanwhile, Ninban starts the cold stare fight.
The big fat bombos.
Yeah, it saves a lot of magic for the actual fight. And hammer strats, which actually is a bit risky, even on blue mail. Cold stare hits like a truck, even though cold stare just looks like cotton candy. So the theory goes that inside the cotton candy there indeed is a truck.
Interesting. Ninban needs to be very careful though. They're down to one heart, but I don't understand why they don't. Well, I guess I can see why they don't want to use a potion.
Yeah, only one hit left. But the ice rod wasn't here. not fitting with the theme of ice. Meanwhile, Android is heading into Palace of Darkness to quickly finishing that one up. You have to do it at some point, so why not right now?
Looks like Misery Mire is up next.
Yeah, Meyer has a lot of items in its surrounding area. And Ninban checking what is needed and required. I didn't see it. But we know where all the medallions are.
Now, if Ninban finds the ice rod in Misery Mire, do you think they'll go mode the dungeon, or do you think they'll full clear?
Oh, I think on Ninban's side we will see a go mode as soon as Ice Rod pops up. Silver Arrow's Master Sword is enough to beat Ganon. So no need to actually full clear anything. It is nice to get Tempered Sword for the end game. But the silver arrows are the bigger time save.
Oh, most definitely. I believe without silver arrows, it's 24 hits to Ganon?
On the Master Sword, yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And you can get through 2 to 3 hits in optimally every time you light the torch. With Tempered or Butter Sword it would be 12 hits to Ganon, which still isn't so nice, but a lot easier to manage.
Oh, and there's the ice rod on Ninban's screen.
That is go mode. Well, okay, Ether might be required for Turtle Rock, so it is a go mode with a potential 1 minute break to grab a coin.
Pseudo go mode.
And they don't have to search for it, they already saw it on the floating island. But with the early ice rod here in Misery Mire, they actually have to go and clear a bit more, and there is a big key.
So they're just gonna head on right out of there or up to Vitreous.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of a strange dungeon design. So we will see if Android is going for Misery Mire first. If that is the case, good on him.
Ooh, and they missed the cane dash.
Oh, and indeed, Android is going to Mire. That means no need to full clear ice.
That'll definitely save them some time.
Yeah. And checking checkerboard K first. Okay, that is completely valid as a play.
Oh, but it's just 50 rupees.
Yeah, but for all Android knows, it could be Ice Rod, it could be a sword upgrade, mail upgrade.
And here comes one of the most satisfying boss fights, in my opinion, the Silver Arrow Vitreous.
Yeah, but sadly missing the zeros. No, still got it. Nice. If you start to miss too many bow shots, you will not get the zero cycle, but instead a one cycle.
And up to Turtle Rock Ninban goes.
Yeah, releasing the fairies, the bees here. I guess a quick stop at the witch beforehand, because Master Sword Trinex fight, that one really isn't fun.
Yeah.
And you want to have something to refill your magic.
And Android picking up their Ice Rod. So I'm sure they're very excited.
Yeah. Both in Go mode now. Android still having to beat 3 dungeons, but one is the pretty short Go mode Ice Palace. The other is if he happens to go the right way for the big key, also very short. So only thing that shouldn't happen, yeah, is Android go ahead. That turning around, going to grab that big key. There we got another peek to where Ether is.
Let's do it. Ooh, and it's Quake, so we won't have to go get that Ether.
Yeah, but even if they had to go, it was right around the corner. Oh, and Android looking for some hearts there, but in this room there's only one heart.
They fortunately have that red potion, though, and I believe they have one more.
Even two. So for Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge still might be required.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't get a big key and have to go to the vanilla big key chest. That usually wastes the last key.
Oh, and the big key. So it looks like Laser Bridge is not required.
Yeah, possibly. We will see about that. I'm also not sure if Ninban feels like the need of doing big gambles right now, or Ninban is actually thinking this is a decent run so far. And Android going through more than one cycle there on Vitreous, but still decently fast. The eyeball is killed. That means only 2 more crystals to go. So, buying some potions on Android side.
Definitely not a bad play.
Yeah, especially with 4 bottles in hand and the amount of rupees. And you have to go to Ice Palace, which still needs a lot of magic for the boss. And even if you don't use the potions here, you might as well need them for Trinex with Master Sword. Oh, and we are 4 hearts away from seeing the max life counter. And Laser Bridge will have a small key.
Very interesting.
But by the logic, that isn't a problem, because as soon as you get Mirror Shield, Cape, or the Blue Cane, the logic actually starts to allow stuff to be on the Laser Bridge.
That is true.
And with that really early Cape they got. Oh, that was the wrong cane. But there is the sword upgrade. Small key and leaving. So now it is a tempered sword Trinex fight. Which makes a huge difference. You will see some players start with the Fire Rod in the fight, in the Master Sword Trinex fight. Just for the simple fact that the ice head is really annoying.
Yeah, especially if they don't get it in time, it could put a good chunk of the room on ice.
Yeah, and with the Master Sword, it's really hard to prevent that if you go for the Fire Head first.
And Trinex is down.
So we're off to Ganon's Tower, and you all know what this means. You're around for Randomizer for some time. If you're new, there is this little quiz we do. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, where the big key could be. What do you think? Where will it be?
Ooh, I'm gonna say it's chest number 2 on the right side.
And for me, it is my classical guess, Bob's chest, which on the standard route is chest 14. Also, we will see if Ninban feels behind or not, depending on the route here.
Oh, and it's chest number 1.
Okay, that is very fast.
So to all of you who picked or guessed chest number 1, congratulations.
And we even get 2 small keys here. Rip Bob, the anti-fairy, which glitches out if you don't get the item on the torch there. And in the next room there is another key, and with 2 keys going up to the rest of the tower, you're set.
And Android is taking down Cold Stare's outer shell with a nice minty bombos.
Meanwhile, Ninban is getting a bit hungry for the kills on the mimics there. Not waiting for them, but instead hunting them down. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, doing Cold Stare with the Master Sword, that was just... it's not super great.
No, it really isn't. But it was a decent fight. It has a lot of health left here. And Ninban currently has to fight his way through the gauntlet.
They're doing a great job.
That was not a bad gauntlet, but now it's time for Lamb Motors 2. And this time...
single cycle.
Yeah, this time Ninban gets his revenge. Now to my favorite trick in the entire game. Killing the Wizrobes with the Cane of Samaria blood. It looks super cool and it's actually very easy. Okay, so Ninban is taking the time to get the magic refill there, which makes the sprite despawn in the tower nearly impossible. There is the option of despawning sprites in Tower of Hera if you go up the stairs the very same moment the door in the room before closes. It's very annoying, but it can happen. And Android found the cane of Burner in Super Bunny Cave. I think Android is looking for a sword upgrade.
On the powder too, which could lead to another sword upgrade.
Yeah, well, at least it's a nice safety item. Oh, and Moldorm is trying to have revenge on Ninban.
Yeah, but fortunately they didn't fall on the spikes.
Yeah, that's very, very good. And Android is heading for the last medallion because being down there in Hookshot Cave, it's even less time that you need.
And looks like Android is opting to get that ether tablet.
Yeah, I mean, entered Hookshot Cave to find a sword upgrade, but at least you get the medallion, and now you can be sure you have everything you need.
And
validation chest holding 5 bomb capacity upgrade. Exactly how it should be for a meme chest like this.
And Ninban enters the Ag of 1 fight, or Ag of 2 fight, excuse me, at 157.27. So let's see how they do.
That was a single hit in phase 2, a double in phase 1. But how he got the single hit in phase 2 was impressive. And phase 4, and he's done. So only the evil overlord Ganon himself is left for Ninban. People are actually not sure, is he a pig, is he a boar? All we know is you can get bacon from him.
And that is true.
And Ganon with the nonsense text there, which basically was added to allow NMG and Hando runners to run this game as well without messing with their muscle memory or mashing through the text boxes. Oh, and Ninban taking a lot of damage there.
Yeah, those Ganon hugs with blue mail aren't the best.
Ganon hugs in general. He might look like a very huggable boss, but he sure isn't. But that were the dangerous phases of the Ganon fight, at least when you have silver arrows.
Ooh. Well, they got the torch glitch, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, a torch glitch with silver arrows again, something you don't necessarily need. It is nice to have, but you need 4 hits.
Ooh, and they missed it.
And this is GG for Ninban.
GG.
Finishes first. with an official SRL time of 2 hours and 35 seconds.
Let's see if we can ask Ninban if they want an interview. Oh, and it appears that Android has actually forfeited the race.
Yeah, even though it was a pretty close race for how fast Ninban found some of the items.
And let's see if we can pull Ninban in. Congratulations.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Gigi.
Thanks.
So how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. That was quite a seed.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
It's the first time I've seen Titan's myths on the pedestal.
Yeah, the moment it turned into a pedestal seat was very special.
Now, were you expecting it to be a pedestal seed?
Almost. I mean, I did Hera Tower, but for some reason I didn't want to go and check the pedestal early when I had the book. But I didn't. But I don't think it would have changed much of my routing. Maybe I would have gone to desert sooner and got that hammer.
Yeah, I mean, after we discovered that Hammer is in desert, was obvious that the seed wanted you to go there first.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that I checked the first few chests of it before going to Aganim.
Yeah, but you both actually did.
Yeah, I expect so. It's much when you have one or two item possibilities in there versus Aganim, you want to go there first.
Yeah, who wants to do Aghanim?
Yeah, but he blocked so many items: flippers, the hoodshot, the boots, the first glove, which was blocked by boots.
Now, Ninban, when did it occur to you that this was an Aga seed?
I didn't want to believe it until I got there, until like I got every items I could. And I'm glad I haven't sequence blowed the Master Sword. It made Aga Tower much easier.
Yeah, on Android's end, we saw the fighter sword version of the tower.
Yeah, it's much harder. Fortunately, he did his use the bow. At least that's a good weapon.
A little bit more. The boomerang and different setups for spins was actually pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I watched the race back. Maybe not tonight, but maybe in a few days.
It sure was a good race.
Well, Ninban, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Something I I laughed in real life. It's in Turtle Rock. I wasted a key, the one you can steal from the poke, and I used it out of my mind on the door and had to go and get that 5 rupees chest. And then I was like, no, why did I waste that key? It's a loss of time. And when I got to the laser bridge to get my replacement key, I got the tempered sword.
Yeah. So pretty much big time of luck there to actually find that really good sword for
Yeah,
way OP.
it was very fortunate for finding that sword. I was not even searching for it.
Yeah, I mean, with silver arrows, the only problem with a Master Sword is the Trinex fight.
Yeah, and the Ganon first phases are also a little bit harder, but I think I could manage it. I'm just glad I didn't have to.
Yeah, having tempered sword is much nicer.
Well, if that's it, I would like to say congratulations to both racers. You had an excellent race. Thank you for letting us commentate over it.
Thank you for commentating. And who was tracking?
Tracking was Malagord, and Albie was our restreamer. So a big thank you to both of you.
Yeah, big thanks to all the team.
And if there's nothing else that would like to be said, I'm going to go ahead and bring this race to a close. I believe we have another race coming up in about an hour. It looks like it'll be a quad race actually. So stick around and check that out. And with that being said, we will see you all soon. Thank you for tuning in and have a nice evening.
Good evening.